Hello everybody, this is Peter B, and welcome to another edition of Tobacco Card Tuesday. It is absolutely gorgeous here in New England today, so we're going to be doing this from my deck again, and we're going to continue going down the T205 checklist. First one today is Chief Bender. Born May 5th, 1884, in Crow Wing County as a member of the Chippewa tribe. As a child, he was named, I'll try to get it correctly, Mandu Essence, which translates into Little Spirit Animal. He graduated from Carlisle Indian Industrial School and attended Dickinson's College. Bender played for Connie Mack's Philadelphia A's from 1903 to 1914, where he helped the A's become a three-time World Series champ. He was said to be very cool under pressure. In 1915, he jumped to the upstart Federal League because they were offering better salaries. He jumped to the Baltimore Terrapins. It was his only season in Baltimore, and he always regretted leaving the A's. He went back to the majors with the Philadelphia Phillies in 1916 through 17. He left baseball in 1918 during World War I to work in the shipyards. In 1919, Bender was a player manager in the minors for a few years, and in 1925, as a pitching coach for the Chicago White Sox, he pitched one inning in a cameo appearance at age 42. Bender was considered a very smart pitcher by his peers, always understanding what to throw to certain batters. His 16-year career numbers are 212 wins, 127 losses, a 2.46 ERA, and 1,711 strikeouts. He was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1953. So this is Bender's card. Nice red background. It's American League card, so it has the diamond with his head portrait in the middle. Nice blue interior of the diamond. Nice white cap. Charles Bender, Philadelphia Americans. And the back, this came out of a Piedmont cigarette pack. Charles Bender or Chief Bender, Hall of Famer. Okay, next one we're going to move on to is Bill Bergen. Let's see if I can center that for you without knocking everything over. I guess not. Bill Bergen. William Bergen played 11 years for the Reds and Dodgers. He was one of the worst hitting position players of all time, but he was also one of the best defensive catchers. His negative 6.9 WAR is second worst among major league position players in history. Although a terrible hitter, he remained for 11 years because he was one of the best defensive catchers of all time. Total Baseball ranks Bergen 5th best defensive catcher. He had 3,028 at bat, so he definitely played, although he couldn't hit for nothing. Only 516 hits, 2 home runs, both inside the park, and a .170 average. In those days where there wasn't power hitting home run players and stuff like that, good defensive catchers that can throw out base stealers, as well as call a good game for the pitchers, were very important. And that's how Bill Burgin was able to stay in the majors. After retiring, he coached and managed Major League Baseball. Okay, so this is the Brooklyn Superbas, later become the Dodgers. This is the National League card, so it has just the portrait against a pretty blue background in this case. Nice blue, Dodger blue cap with the B for Brooklyn on it. This has some nice gold, although it is off center. The gold is still fairly nice. And there's the back. And this came out of a Hassan cigarette pack. So William or Bill Burgin. Now let me continue his story a little, or sort of his story a little bit more. A little bit off topic. Older brother of Bill, Marty Burgin, was also a very good defensive catcher. He would throw runners out from his knees, didn't even need to stand up and throw. He was on the Boston Beaneaters, which later became the Braves, from 1896 to 1899. He was a better hitter than Burgin, but once again, his claim to fame was his superior defense. The only problem with Marty is that he suffered from mental illness. He would always have rants in the clubhouse, think people and things were after him. One train trip, he left the train because he didn't want to travel with his teammates because he thought they were after him. He threatened to kill his teammates. And unfortunately, in 1900, he took an axe and killed his wife and 2 kids. And then he took a razor and killed himself. So that was Marty Burgin, Bill's older brother. Just a little side note. Oh, and the weird thing is, like I said, he was one of the best defensive catchers playing in the 19th century. And when the Hall of Fame came about, not right away, but later years of the Hall of Fame, he actually received 2 Hall of Fame votes. So here we go, giving 2 Hall of Famer a murderer and took his life. He gets 2 Hall of Fame votes, and yet Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens can't even be allowed to get any vote. So just a little sidetrack. Beautiful card, William or Bill Burgin. Okay, we're going to move on to the Cleveland Naps and talk about Joe Birmingham. With a lineup featuring Nap Lajoie and Shoeless Joe Jackson, the 1912 Cleveland Naps were expected to contend for the title. By early September, they were 54-71-2, and manager Harry Davis was fired. Center fielder Joe Birmingham was brought in to become interim manager. He led the Naps the rest of the way with a 21-7 record to finish the season. Birmingham was an excellent center fielder with a very strong arm, but he was a mediocre hitter. His philosophy was defense over hitting. In 1913, he was appointed full-time manager, and it would be Birmingham's best finish with a 3rd place, 86-66. Next year, Nap Lajoie was in the middle of a mid-season slump, and Birmingham benched him. Now, there was no love between the two, and they would openly argue in front of everyone. The feud ended when Lajoie was sold to Philadelphia A's after the 1914 season. So you can make Joe Birmingham responsible of Cleveland losing Nap Lajoie. Birmingham's managerial career became worse until in 1915, just after 28 games, he was fired. His 9-year playing career, he has 667 hits with a .253 batting average. So once again, American League. So you got this nice diamond. This time a green background and a red inner diamond. Nice picture of Joe Birmingham. And this came out of a Sovereign cigarette pack. Okay, on to Russell Lena Blackburn. An 8-year Major League infielder, he played for the White Sox, Reds, Braves, and Phillies. He has 387 hits, .284 average. After his playing days, he was a coach, manager, and a scout. But Lena would be forever remembered for his mud. In 1938, as a third base coach for the Phillies, the umpires were complaining about the slickness of the new baseballs. In those days, they would spit tobacco juice or rub dirt and water together onto the balls to try to remove the slickness from a ball directly out of a box. And either it discolored the ball very badly or scuffed up the ball very badly. But Lena had an idea of trying this new mud he got from a secret place. The slickness is removed without scuffing, and it did not discolor the baseball. This mud is in a secret location even today on the Jersey side of the Delaware River. When Lena became older, he hired a helper to help him get the mud. When he died in 1968, he left his business to his partner. And since then, the partner's grandchild inherited the business. This mud from the secret location on the Delaware River banks is still used on every baseball in the game today. So Lena Blackburn, the Mud Man. American League card. White Sox, so you get that picture of the white stocking there. Kind of olive green background with a maroon interior. And this came out of a Sweet Copperelle pack. Okay, the last one for the day, number 5. William Kitty Bransfield. He was a smooth-fielding, hard-hitting first baseman. He played 12 years for the Beaneaters, Pirates, Phillies, and Cubs. The Boston Beaneaters brought him up as a catcher, but he wasn't getting many playing time because they had a very good defensive catcher called Marty Burgeon. That's the dude who chopped his wife and kids up and killed himself. So they converted him to first base. He was the first baseman on those great Pirate teams in the early 1900s. After having a dismal 1904 season, he was traded to the Phillies. This left a void at first base in Pittsburgh for many, many years, and it was called the Bransfield curse. Decades they sought for as good a caliber first baseman. It wasn't until Willie Stargell that they found one, and the Bransfield curse was broken. Okay, 12 years, he had 1,351 hits, 175 stolen bases, and a 270 batting average. He was with the Phillies at the time, so it is the National League card. This one has a green background. And this came out of a Sovereign cigarette pack. So that's it. Those are the next 5 in the T205 checklist. I hope you join me next week for another episode of Tobacco Card Tuesday. Have a great day, everybody.